wanna live a life.
That guy just, oh my gosh! Surprise, motherfucker! What? Oh my god, you're fucking crazy! What is up, you smexy individuals? My name is Birdman778, and welcome to another Thematic build video. Today, we're going over our new Star Wars inspired build. We call this our Stormtrooper AT-AT Moze. So this is part of our Star Wars inspired builds. We've already done the Emperor Palpatine Zane and the Mandalorian Flak. I really wanted to try to figure out exactly where Moze would fit in regards to all of that. And obviously, since she's the mech player, her being inspired by the mechs of Star Wars made a lot of sense. Since the AT-ATs are part of the Empire, we decided to just make a Stormtrooper Moze AT-AT build. Made the most sense just for the fact that, I mean, she's the mech person, you know, like the giant mechs that just demolish everything. It fit perfectly. In regards to what weapons we're using, though, we decided to go all Maliwan. Why? Because it kind of reminds me just of the blasters and stuff, the futuristic style, and also just the fact that a lot of the weapons just kind of make sense in a way. Just the laser bolt shooting, all that stuff. We went with a beacon, a hell shock, a flipper, and a Kip's Worth. Now, quick thing to keep in mind with this build is going to be a much bigger mech build. We're going to kind of go over that a lot more whenever we go over the skill tree. So essentially, if you want a different, Maliwan style weapon in this, go for it. It doesn't really matter. As long as it kind of meets that idea of futuristic laser shooty guns. Wow, that's a really weird one. Kurzo, cut that out. Don't cut it out. But yeah, it just made the most sense in general. In regards to what other items we're using a Transformer Shield, a Rocketeer class mod with splash damage, weapon damage, and weapon magazine size, a Cloning Matting Tracker, and a Snowdrift Deathless. Now, the Snowdrift Deathless is kind of one of those that, like, to me, I was like, well, why are we using this? I wanted to all out the shields of Moze, and essentially the fact that she get one tap to her regular health and be dead. Kind of like what it seems like a lot of like the Stormtroopers and other small villains in the Star Wars universe kind of have. It made the most sense. And also, we just wanted to kind of avoid, whenever we're hopping out of Iron Bear, taking any shock damage that would knock out our shields. That just made the most sense. And in regards to the class mod Rocketeer, I just wanted Iron Bear to last as long as humanly possible, and also take advantage of that torque cross promotion +5 that this one has. You'll kind of see exactly why we stick with this one when we go over the skill tree here in a moment. So in regards to the skill tree, we wanted to go with the railguns for the Iron Bear. Why? Going with that laser kind of shots, a lot of damage that the AT-ATs have themselves. We wanted to replicate that as much with Iron Bear as possible, so this just made the most sense. In regards to the green tree, we put a lot into Cloud of Lead. Why? Because we want to get as much incendiary damage and extra just like bonuses for Iron Bear as possible. We also have the Daka Bear. We're able to hop on the back and use the turret. Now, this is more for part of our modifiers, exactly why we have the Daka more than anything. But it's also just super beneficial, just sitting on top, kind of helping out Iron Bear with those like low health enemies, so that it's not wasting shots on somebody who's like almost dead. You can just sit on the turret, kill them real quick so you can focus on something else. And then we got Stoke the Embers, just so we're getting extra incendiary damage out of Iron Bear as well. Now, Blue Tree, this is where all the focus really goes into. We have pretty much +5 in a bunch of these spots. But as you can notice, we don't really actually put any points in torque cross promotion. Why? Because we kind of want to get that +5 in some other areas. One of them being explosive punctuation. I really want our Iron Bear to be as accessible as possible. There's times when you're going to see me doing the Maliwan takedown where I'm just getting lit up and the Iron Bear goes down. The faster we're able to get that back up, the more this build is going to succeed. So again, abilities like that, and then also something like Grizzled, where getting kills helps reduce that cooldown time is really beneficial. And obviously we want something like Stainless Steel Bear, where it's going to make us a little bit more beefy. Auto Bear, obviously, and then Vampire, so that we're getting that health with Iron Bear as well. Now, in the final tree, the red tree, we have that railgun going off. And honestly, this is kind of one of those where you kind of fill it in where you need to. Just as long as you get down to the compactive armature, that's the most important, because we want to make it shock damage, because that just reminds me most of a laser bolt shooting, something like that, rather than like fire shooting. We're getting that passive fire from some of those green tree abilities, but for the most part, we want it to be a shock. And then obviously, security bear, get that bubble shield around us. It's beneficial just because you're going to be taking less damage, and it's going to help you out in the long run. Now, like I was mentioning before, the Daka bear kind of comes into play with our modifiers. First off, because of buddy system, you're going to be noticing a lot of the enemies are going to have drones on them. Being able to sit on the back and use that turret to kill those, so that Iron Bear doesn't have to just be shooting someone who's invulnerable constantly, is super beneficial, and it helps kind of utilize Moze during the time where Auto Bear should be doing everything for you. We got Chain Gang just because it doesn't really do a whole lot. We don't worry about it. Healy Bender, super beneficial. Big Kick Energy. Now, this is one that kind of goes to the thematic part of the build. You get that extra gun damage, but your recoils increase significantly. If you've ever watched Star Wars movies, stormtroopers can't aim. So honestly, hurting the accuracy of the player to get some benefit out of it is cool, but it also meets the theme where it's hard to aim. I mean, you're gonna notice in times in the video, whenever we're out of Auto Bear, running around shooting, our aim is terrible. I mean, my aim already is terrible. My aim is extra terrible with this Big Hit Energy going on. So that's another part of this build that's just kind of fun to mess with. So something to keep in mind as of July 22nd, 2020, this build and with Iron Bear is very powerful. Iron Bear itself is very powerful. There is a huge chance that it's going to be patched out. Things are going to be fixed, stuff like that. So keep that in mind when going into this. Definitely check to see what is the current power of Iron Bear and see if this is even going to be beneficial for you. But at this certain point in time, it really is. This was a good build. We were able to clear the Malawan takedown and do multiple other activities like boss killing, stuff like that, very easy. So I had a whole lot of fun making this build. I like kind of getting to play some more Moze and try it out. It's because I've never really been a Moze player. And she's become such a favorite character of mine recently. So it's a whole lot of fun, especially just doing the themes in general. Trying to find exactly what fits with who is definitely a journey in itself, but at the same time, it helps me improve as not only a build maker, but a player as well. But guys, if you want to see everything that goes on with these builds, definitely come over to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/birdman778. I start stream at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We got some other streams sprinkled in between there, so make sure you're staying up to date on our social media, twitter.com/birdman778 and instagram.com/birdmangram. Then obviously here on YouTube, youtube.com/birdman778. Guys, we're going to be back here soon with another Star Wars inspired build. This is going to be for our Mara, so stay tuned on that. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, night, whatever it is, and stay smexy.